Hey everybody, welcome to Test Chamber. I'm Kyle Hilliard, and Reiner is here with me.
Hi, nice bed.
Oh, thank you. I picked it out myself. We are looking at Gravity Rush Remastered, which is a PS4 upgrade of a Vita game.
Yeah, it was like a launch title around that time, right?
Yeah, so the game's actually pretty old. It's a couple years old now. But the reason I wanted to play this game, other than getting a chance to sort of look at the new upgraded visuals, is I actually really like this game a lot, and I think in some ways it's kind of underrated. It's definitely has its issues. It's not like a perfect game. I mean, no game is a perfect game, right? But I think that this game's core mechanic of manipulating gravity to sort of whoa, what's going on here?
Kyle, what kind of game is this?
Sorry, I got distracted. I think the game's core mechanic of manipulating gravity to sort of move around is really nailed down really hard and awesome, and it's really cool. And then the sort of game surrounding it is where it sort of loses some of its momentum, because you are kind of doing the same stuff over and over. But just this simple act of being able to fly upward by essentially falling.
Yeah, you're switching gravity or something weird, right?
Yeah, you basically you fall. You respond to gravity normally, and it works normally, but you can manipulate which way the gravity moves. Oh, so now I've run out of energy, so now I'm falling.
She's like an X-Man. That's her power.
Yeah, they call it, and there's in this world, they're sort of they recognize them as oh yeah, there's a bunch of gravity manipulators in this world, and they announced Gravity Rush 2, which I'm very excited about, because I think what they really got the sort of gravity mechanic done really well in this game, and I think it's really cool, and I really want to see them take more time to kind of develop a game around it, because just the act of moving through the air I think is awesome in this game.
So if you're interested in it, the PS4 version comes out in 6 days on February 2nd, and it's going to retail for $29.99.
Yeah. So it's a little bit cheaper than your average PS4 game, and I think it's worth checking out, especially ahead of the sequel. So one of the things I sort of related to, we actually talked about this in a podcast recently, Reiner, is the original Assassin's Creed. You kind of ended up doing a lot of the same stuff over and over, and it was kind of dull, ultimately. But the thing that they had down really well was just moving through the world.
Yeah,
climbing and stuff was
in their narrative hooks. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, and so that's why I think the sequel, Assassin's Creed 2, is considered such a good game, is because they had the main mechanics down. So
right.
They were able to kind of focus on everything else around it. And I feel like that's the situation here. Moving through the world is awesome. And the world looks really cool too. I love the art style of the game. And now for the sequel, I hope that they just kind of find more interesting things to do with it. And
yeah, because I got bored with it on Vita. I really liked the gameplay. I'm right there with you.
Which is totally fair. It gets repetitive. It gets the fighting is really simple. It's just square for combos like this. It doesn't really get much more interesting.
So people know you're just tooling around the open world right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a mission you could take on.
Yeah, let me take a look. That's the thing. That's the reason I kind of want to show it off. It's just running around the world and just flying essentially is just fun.
But since this is a modern day game, that meant that there was DLC with it on Vita. So according to the PlayStation Store, enjoy extra missions, challenges, and costumes with the Maid Pack, Spy Pack, and Military Pack, all included in this version of the game.
Cool.
So you get the full package that was released on Vita over time. No, wrong gravity.
See, that's awesome. I have a soft spot in my heart for games that let you fall really long distances. I don't know why. Just one of my favorite things is being able to fall really far.
Do you like it when a game breaks and you just fall through the world?
No.
Is that your cup of tea, or just oh.
That's too far, man. That's when you cross the line at that point. But I really love I can't remember the name. The Sucker Punch, Infamous. I really like Infamous and Crackdown and even Prototype. Just being able to run and jump off a building. It's just fun.
Collect orbs. That's your big thing, apparently. That's all you've been doing so far today.
Yeah, I know. Here, let's see. Where's this mission that I selected?
It was right down there. It's right there.
I guess I gotta get around to the other side.
Yeah.
Let's go over.
Wahoo! Yeah, that's pretty cool. So how are you doing that on the DualShock now?
I mean, just the right trigger, or the right button rather, just kind of lifts you up in the air, and then you can kind of point wherever you want to go and press the shoulder button again.
And that just switches gravity to that point.
Yep. Uh-oh, I screwed this up. Am I going to die?
Click on the... Oh, no.
Oh, wait, I do. I have some energy.
Yeah. Here you go.
Here we go. And then my little energy meter's in the top left corner there.
How many people you think are just lost into the sky forever?
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you lift into the air, I'll do a mission right now so we won't see it. But when you sort of initiate the gravity, I'm just skipping through all this stuff. No spoilers in this test chamber. Let's see. I gotta go to the roof. Is that like when you manipulate the gravity, if there's like people or animals near you, like they'll get lifted up too. So they do get like flung into the air.
I want to say there was a Lex Luthor story way back when 52 was just coming online, I think. It was one of those events. This is like a decade ago. But everybody gained powers at one point, so everybody's like kind of flying around the city. And Lex controlled this. It was like a switch. You could turn it on and off. And he turned off the powers when they were all like hundreds of people were airborne or thousands of people and they all died. Because they all just fell to the ground and turned into bloody pulps.
Man, he's a bad dude.
Yeah, he is. It's a good thing he's not in jail and he was president of the United States of America.
Is that still going on in that storyline?
No.
He's not the president anymore?
No.
Okay, I think I'm doing this the right way.
Forgive and forget in that universe. A lot of forgetting.
Mostly forgetting. There we go. That recharges me. I'm supposed to be like making sure that no one sees me.
Stealth with gravity.
See, that's the thing. It's like for the sequel, maybe they'll recognize that, like, you know, hey, we don't really need to do that kind of stuff.
You just go bananas with it. That's what they should call it. Gravity Rush 2, go bananas.
So yeah, I would play that game.
Okay. Nicely done.
Oh gosh, Cat. Her name's Cat with a K, and then a cat follows her around. It's not confusing at all. Beep.
Yeah, so all the story is told in comic frames. Usually you saw Kyle going through a very interesting one at the beginning.
Which is kind of a, like a launch title sort of
yeah, but
standard.
I like the style of it.
Yeah, they embrace it all the way through, like through the pause screens and everything. Like it doesn't feel like a cheap sort of, we couldn't afford fully animated cutscenes.
Yeah, the artists are awesome.
Yeah, I like the art style of the game.
All right, here you go.
Pull a switcheroo.
Wait, maybe it's Alias and then Sid? Like Sydney from the show Alias?
Maybe, or Sid from Final Fantasy.
You got this. Quit collecting stuff.
Well, I need that. That's like what...
Quit collecting.
No, I need that. That's like power, so I don't run... So I can keep like running along the side here. See? I'm running along the side of the wall. I feel like this game does a pretty good job at not being disorienting, which is like, you know, it could certainly be, but I don't know what it does so well. I think it just switches the camera really well.
I think it's so slow, you know, like just the transition isn't jarring that it works.
Am I in the bottom here? Oh, here we go.
Nice.
And you can just press the left button to... the left shoulder button to kind of return to normal gravity too, which lets you like kind of center out. If everything gets too confusing, you're like, okay, wait, I'm just gonna press the left button and get back to normal.
You were pretty stealthy until you hit that bench and broke it.
Don't worry about it, it's cool. They were all looking the other way.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, really, like I said, I just want to show off this game because I think there's a lot of potential for the sequel.
What's that fish sitting on?
Of little pile of water. That's what they call it, right?
A pile of something.
Pile of something. Fish eggs? Do I need to do it on the side again here? Let's see, yeah. Boom.
Nice.
My favorite thing to do is like late in the game, like you can manipulate gravity for longer periods of time, so you can just like fly off into the sky like almost forever, and then just fall. And she's fine for some reason. Don't worry about it.
So what other Vita games haven't come to PS4 yet that probably should?
Uncharted.
Oh, you think that Uncharted game should, huh?
Well, I mean,
that'd be tough. There's a lot of mechanics that use the touchscreen.
Oh, really? I only played that one for like an hour or two. When I had my Vita, like this is the one that sort of grabbed me, and I was all in on this one. And then I had moved on to other stuff, you know.
Yeah, it was Sony Bend, right? The siphon filter guys.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I mean, seems like it should come to PS4. Oh my gosh! I know I said no spoilers in this episode test chamber.
Oh no, he's a cheaply made Doctor Who villain. Oh, no. Just a hose wrapped around his face.
Well, it's a launch title. You know, they didn't have a whole lot of money. Oh, I guess he was right there the whole time. Sit here. Do have to get in some fights now.
Yeah.
Follow Sid. Man, I'm just like showing off the best parts, like a follow mission
and
a stealth mission. At least we
here, you can do some combat.
Oh, that was okay. That wasn't much of a follow.
We'll end on combat, so you can see how this works.
So, like I said, the combat's pretty simple. That's something I hope they kind of expand on for the sequel.
It looks cool, though.
Yeah, I do like this move. This is about the only way it kind of mixes up, is you can kind of fling yourself at enemies, which is cool. But otherwise, the standard, like...
jam, jam, jam.
Yeah, just square a bunch. But yeah, like I said, hopeful that this is an example of a game that like had the core mechanics set in place for the original and then like really expands upon it for the sequel. Like I'm very optimistic. Who knows? Like it could just be as simple and you know, it's kind of tedious as the first one becomes. But I'm hopeful that it's cool because I really like manipulating gravity, and they do a really good job of it here, and it could be something. Could really be something, Reiner. We'll see.
Yeah, according to the Sony store, it says it's 5.9 megabit, but that can't be right.
Oh, that's got to be the.
It's just the
price.
pre-order thing. Yeah,
I mean, but it is a pretty small game, you know, because it is a port of a Vita game.
Right.
They up-res the sort of textures and stuff, but I mean, it's still pretty small. I mean, you can look at the sort of the in the background. Ooh. You can kind of see like how outlines. It looks like it doesn't really use all the full power of the PS4, if you will. So I gotta, what do you think these are? Like snails or scorpions or something?
Hey, some kind of crabby snail thing.
Crabby
more
snail.
like a crab, like a hermit crab. Now that I see the legs.
Let's see.
Just living in some dried up Cheetos or something.
Well, you never know what's happening in this world. Boom.
That would suck if you just go into the fountain and all of a sudden there's all these blood bugs hanging out.
Yeah, something's going on. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She has lost her memory.
All right, you got juice.
Oh gosh. Oh, I thought I was gonna fall off the edge there. Which is another kind of standard, like, all right. She just lost her memory.
Nice.
Also, I really like her animation. I think is really good too. Just like her, even though it's kind of bland, the combat animation is good, and just like the way she falls, I think she has really good animation, and the way you can drop her on the ground looks really cool. Do you remember she was in PlayStation All-Stars?
I did not play that game at all.
She was like, so I mean, the thing that kind of says to me is like, Sony has like expectations for Gravity Rush, or at least did have big expectations for Gravity Rush of like.
Also the Vita, Kyle.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, you guys remember the Vita?
Sadly, I think that is the song and dance right now for Vitas. Do you remember the Vita?
Man,
they're not bringing MLB to it. That's a big sign right there.
Yeah, that was like
that
one
was
of
a
their big
staple. Yeah.
I love the Vita. I use it to play a lot of those cool indie games.
The best hardware.
Yeah.
It really is. So Dan Reichert, old Dan Reichert.
I'm not familiar with that person.
Sadly, isn't with us anymore. He gave the game an 8 out of 10.
R.I.P. Dan Reichert.
When it came out, so he enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page there. Where it's like it definitely has some like pacing issues and it gets bland at the end, but like just that core gravity mechanic works so well that they really nailed it there.
Yep. And then user reviews, we had the Anime Gamer gave it an 8.5. Titus and Yuna 1983, he gave it she gave it an 8.5.
Hey Ryan, check this out.
And then Tormentus gave it a 10 out of 10.
You want to see something cool?
Yeah, do it.
Come with me.
To oblivion!
See ya. That's a good way to... Oh, there they go.
There. Enjoy the floating blood river. See ya.
Whatever it is. So yeah, that's Gravity Rush Remastered, which is
cool.
It's coming out pretty soon. And I like I said, I would check it out if you haven't played it, because it's a really cool action game that kind of near the end it certainly kind of gets repetitive, and yeah, awesome gravity mechanic that I hope they really expand on for the sequel. The end.